Ever wondered why your favorite burger turns into... Well, you know what? Let's embark on a fascinating voyage where that juicy, delicious burger you just indulged in commences its epic journey through your body. Picture this, your mouth, a bustling construction site where a team of diligent workers, your teeth, break down the burger into smaller, more manageable pieces. Every bite you take is like a wrecking ball, smashing the food into rubble. Your saliva, akin to water on a construction site, aids in this demolition, making the rubble softer, wetter, and easier to transport. This is your first step in turning that scrumptious burger into... Well, let's not get ahead of ourselves. Once the food is thoroughly demolished, it's time for it to leave the construction site and embark on a wild ride. It slides down your esophagus, much like a kid on a water slide at a theme park. But instead of a splash pool at the end, this water slide leads straight into your stomach. It's a swift and smooth ride, all thanks to the muscles that line your esophagus, working in a wave-like motion to propel the food downwards. And then we arrive at the stomach, a sort of natural blender if you will, but we'll pause here. That's a tale for the next scene. For now, let's take a moment to appreciate this incredible journey. From a mouth that acts like a construction site, to a water slide-esque esophagus, your body is nothing short of an amusement park for the food you consume. So the next time you're munching on that juicy burger, remember you're just prepping for a wild ride down the water slide. Stay tuned as we continue this food voyage in the next scene, where we'll dive into the belly of the beast. The stomach. So, what happens when your food takes the plunge into the stomach, the body's personal mixer? Well, let's dive right in. Imagine your stomach as a bustling kitchen with your food being the main ingredient. The head chef here is the stomach itself, orchestrating the intricate dance of digestion. The stomach is the home to a powerful cocktail of digestive juices, eager to break down the food into smaller, more manageable chunks. This might seem like a bit of a rough welcome for your food, but it is an essential part of the process. Our body's personal mixer, the stomach, is a muscular bag that churns and sloshes the food around, breaking it down physically. It's like the toughest blender you could ever imagine, relentlessly working to make sure every bit of food is well processed. But the physical churning is only part of the story. The stomach also releases gastric juices, which include hydrochloric acid and digestive enzymes. These substances are like the sous chefs in our kitchen metaphor, each with their specific duties. The hydrochloric acid is rather like a stern, no-nonsense chef. It sterilizes the food, killing off any bacteria that might have hitched a ride. On the other hand, the digestive enzymes are like meticulous pastry chefs, carefully breaking down proteins in the food into smaller molecules. This process is called proteolysis, and it's essential for the body to be able to absorb the nutrients from the food. After a couple of hours of this rigorous mixing and marinating, the food is transformed. It enters the stomach as a solid and leaves as a semi-liquid mix called chyme. This chyme is now ready for the next stage of the journey, where it will continue to be broken down and absorbed. And there you have it. Your stomach, the master chef, has whipped up a semi-liquid mix ready for the next stage of this fascinating journey. Now, imagine your food as a car ready to hit the highway. But this isn't your ordinary road trip, it's an intestinal highway. Our food car, now a soupy mixture, cruises into the small intestine, a winding 20-foot-long road. Here it's met by a welcoming party of enzymes, those little construction workers that break down the food further. Picture them like a pit crew at a race, ripping apart the vehicle piece by piece, but in a good way. These enzymes are diligent workers, breaking down proteins into amino acids, fats into fatty acids, and glycerol, and carbohydrates into simple sugars. It's like they're stripping our food car down to its basic components, ready for the next leg of the journey. And now, the magic happens. The nutrients from the food, the amino acids, fatty acids, and sugars, are absorbed through the walls of the small intestine into the bloodstream. Think of these nutrients as hitchhikers getting a lift to various parts of the body where they're desperately needed. They're like tiny tourists, ready to explore and energize your body. But what about the stuff that doesn't get absorbed? The waste products, the parts of the food car that couldn't be broken down, they continue on their journey. They've got a one-way ticket to the large intestine, the final stretch of our intestinal highway. Here in the large intestine, water and electrolytes are absorbed, and the remaining waste is compacted. It's like a final pit stop before the end of the race, where the car is cleaned and polished. Well, sort of. Just like that, our road trip comes to an end, with the nutrients off to nourish your body and the waste, well, heading for the exit ramp. And thus, the fascinating journey of how the food you eat turns into waste is almost complete. But stick around, because the grand finale is still to come. So what's the final destination for this once appetizing meal, now a not-so-appealing mix, you might wonder? Well, let's dive into the grand finale of this incredible journey. Picture your large intestine as a bustling airport, and the remaining waste as passengers waiting to board their flight out. This airport is a bit different though. Instead of rushing, things slow down here. The large intestine, like a hard-working baggage handler, compacts the waste, squeezing out the last bits of water and minerals, ensuring nothing useful is left behind. It's a bit like wringing out a wet towel, but instead of water, we're dealing with... well, you get the point. Once the waste is compacted and condensed, it's ready for takeoff. It's ushered towards the rectum, the exit gate if you will, where it awaits the final clearance for departure. A signal from your brain gives the green light, and voila, mission accomplished. And that's how your delicious dinner becomes a not-so-delicious dump. Bon appetit! Finally, if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell, so you never miss out on our latest videos filled with valuable health and fitness insights. Stay tuned for our next video, and until then, keep pushing your boundaries and stay healthy.